Okay, well, hello everyone, and welcome to Lunchbreak with GABC. I'm your host, Ashley Mateos, head of the German American business community here at the Carl-Schurz-Haus. I'm coming to you live from our library today with Patrick Bornstein from SICK,
Hello, everyone.
as well as Cheryl Leonhardt, one of our teachers, is joining us via Zoom, which you can also see through the live stream. For those of you who don't know, the Carl-Schurz-Haus is one of the German American institutes in Germany. We are based in Freiburg, and we offer a diverse cultural program, English language courses for children, young adults, and adults alike. And we also have a vibrant all-English library. Our main goal at the Carl-Schurz-Haus is to facilitate a transatlantic dialogue across a diverse range of subjects, from literature to politics to business, which brings us here today. So in addition to coordinating the English language courses for the Carl-Schurz-Haus, I'm also head of our German American business community, where we provide events centered around transatlantic business relations, building up some soft skills for work, and also networking. So that being said, I would like to say thank you for spending your lunch break with us. Here with me today online is Cheryl Leonhardt, and then here in person is Patrick Bornstein, the VP of Industry and Community Enablement at SICK. And SICK is one of our GABC members. So first, we're going to hear from Cheryl, who's going to give you a couple of useful English phrases for difficult or delicate situations. And then I'm going to have an interview with Patrick. So first, let's start with Cheryl. I'll pass the mic and the screen over to you. You can take it away.
Oh, thank you. And thank you everyone for tuning in. So one of my favorite writers, George Bernard Shaw, he says, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. And that's how we will begin. This quote reminds us that communication isn't just about what we say, it's about how it's received. So today I'm here to share a few practical phrases with you, and you can tuck these into your toolkit for two situations. One, when someone needs clarity, and when you need to say no, or offering a differing view professionally and with grace. So the first section on providing clarity. I know we have all had that moment. A client or colleague looks at a document or proposal and says, wait, what does this mean? Now, here are three phrases that offer clarity without condescension. Let me walk you through the changes step by step. Now, that's the first. And this keeps things focused and digestible. It shows that you're patient and informed. The second tip is, I know this language can be dense. Let's go through it together. This helps to build trust by acknowledging the complexity and positioning yourself as a guide, not just an expert. The third tip, would it help if we hopped on a quick call to go over it in real time? Because sometimes written explanations don't do the job. Offering to talk shows flexibility and a readiness to help. And we all need that sometimes. So the next set of phrases I would like to share with you is how to say no and how to disagree professionally. All right, now that is like the trickier stuff, right? Saying no or offering a differing opinion. Saying no can feel awkward, but it doesn't have to be harsh. Your first phrase that you can use is, I see where you're coming from. Can I share another perspective? This phrase actually opens the door for a respectful discussion. It tells the other person you are listening, not dismissing, and that is important. The second phrase is, that's a great idea, though I'm not sure it aligns with our current priorities. Here's why. So this gives context. It's not no because I said so. It's no because here's what we're working toward. The third and final point is I'd love to support this, but I have to decline for now to stay focused on current commitments. This one's all about setting boundaries with kindness. You're not shutting the door, you're simply being realistic. So, in these both scenarios, providing clarity or saying no professionally, the goal is the same: to connect and not just correct, to build trust, not just transfer information. So the next time you find yourself in one of these conversations, try reaching for one of these phrases. Ashley has them already. I sent them to her per email. She can forward them if you need them. You'll be surprised how a few words can shift tone, ease tension, and build stronger professional relationships. Thank you. Over to you, Ashley.
Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Very cool.
So Cheryl is our head teacher here at the Carl-Schurz-Haus, actually. And so if you are looking to improve your English skills, feel free to contact us. Cheryl offers one-on-one lessons as well as group courses for conversational fluency, as well as business English, really all levels, all ages, all subjects. And yes, thank you, Cheryl, for sending me those phrases. I'm going to make them available as a PDF. So you're welcome to contact us either at GABC or sprachkurse@carlschwarzhaus.de, and I would happily share that with you. So now we're going to switch gears. And I'm going to talk to you now, Patrick.
Very good.
Yeah. So, Patrick, you have worked for SICK since 1997.
97.
Yeah.
That's right.
But you've actually been here in the Freiburg area with the company since 2012.
Since 2000, actually.
Since 2008, even before then.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And your background is actually in mechanical engineering.
Correct.
Yeah. And now you find yourself as vice president of.
It's a mouthful, yeah. So it's industry and community engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a bit of public relations, but it's also a bit technical. And I'd say part of it is to simply support the brand locally and also globally.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure.
And maybe for our viewers who are unfamiliar, could you tell us a little bit about SICK and the background behind the company?
For sure.
Yeah.
First of all, I wanted to say I love the Carl-Schurz-Haus. I want to do a little bit of a plug because I've known Carl-Schurz-Haus for forever. And they have a really good community. You're not lying, Ashley. I love the business community here, as well as a lot of the language courses. So just wanted to do a little bit of a plug.
Thank you.
And I wasn't paid for that. So SICK was started in 1946. It was really kind of a startup in a shack outside of Munich. So a place called Vaterstetten. And Mr. SICK, so it's not an abbreviation, we get that a lot. His name is Erwin SICK. Or was Erwin SICK, and he had a background in optics and also electronics, which was kind of unusual. Either, at least I know it, you're either a mechanical engineering nerd or you're an electrical engineering nerd or something of that. Nothing against nerds, I'm one myself. But he was able to do these two things at once, and he had a kind of a strong desire to solve some of the problems of the day, which were a lot of exhaust fumes coming from like coal plants and things like that. Also dangerous machines. People were really losing limbs in a lot of these, the automation of the time. There wasn't a lot of safety. And so his very first patents that he really started going or doing in the 50s, so 52 to 57, he had a slew of them, were surrounding how to help people by detecting their hand before it goes into a dangerous chewy machine, right? Or if there's smoke, how do you get the light to go through this smoke and then be detected electronically, and then you could give a warning. So smoke detection, and also things like safety light curtains. And it's pretty interesting because a lot of his drive is very much towards using technology for good. So based on those patents, we've actually sort of built up the company to about 2 billion euros per year. So it's a very large company now, and around 10,000 employees and over 30 subsidiaries worldwide. And a lot of it is really based on that. That's kind of his background. One maybe way of thinking about it is that we're kind of everywhere where there's automation. Take BMW, Ford, Amazon, Procter and Gamble, all these companies that need to produce stuff automatically. Even with books that are being produced, you need to know where the product is and see it. You need to measure it. You need to maybe sort it. They need to protect people from these machines. So I would say we're kind of like the eyes of the robots, if I were to be given 4 words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think that SICK, so not only is it in the US, but also in Germany,
Right.
there's a very large international footprint for SICK. And
Sure.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how maybe that international footprint has shaped the corporate culture, company culture.
Yeah, well, it definitely has. One thing that we don't do that we see a lot of, it's not just German companies, but any export country do, is a lot of the time they send someone from the mother country to manage that subsidiary. So to be the head of, and I worked for a competitor of ours, a Japanese competitor, and that was what they did, you know. So we would have people from Japan in the office with us in the US. I switch over to SICK, and they really just have a management from the countries in which they're doing business. And this is kind of, I guess, in a little bit in our ethos, is that we're kind of passionate about creating solutions. So we have a lot of engineering. We give out 12% of our turnover is in engineering and research and things like that. And we want these people to research things in their market and make things for their own market. So the US has engineers, they have product managers, they have production in the US, like in Minnesota, right, or in Boston. And the same in Asia. So we have in Singapore, we have an office. And what's interesting and how it shapes it, going back to that aspect, is each of these countries has certain products that they define based on what the people need. And one good example was that we had a sensor in the US. I still remember it. It had an LED bar, or we still have it, an LED bar that, and at first other people, at least within Germany, were like, oh, it looks like a Christmas tree. You know, the thing is sort of like going up and down. There's all these LEDs, and but it was giving information about the sensor and the light intensity, and it was a hit. And on top of that, it became popular as well in Europe. So a lot of the time you're given a different perspective from a different group of people, whether it's from Asia or from the US, and it does affect our product lines for sure. Another reason why I think this footprint helps is we get people from different perspectives to solve complicated problems. And this is where, like, I don't know if you guys know Carla Harris. Big fan of hers because she has this idea, or she has the concept of diversity being necessary to solve complicated problems, because you need people from different backgrounds to solve a complicated task because they have another point of view, and you need that, especially now that it's not sticking your hand in a chewy machine, like something that's sort of straightforward. I mean, it's very difficult to do, don't get me wrong, but now people are talking about the digitalization, and you need to have kind of a mixed team almost.
Right. Well, and speaking of problem solving and troubleshooting, are there any sort of challenges that SICK is facing right now?
I'd say there's a couple of challenges we face. One, in general, I would say is there is a fight for mind share of people, like getting new workers, like software, AI, and things like that. Globally, people are fighting for a lot of these new graduates or things like that. And we actually shift a little bit of our activities towards that, to do these hackathons once per year, or to be part of the Capsula festival. They call it the Capsula Fest, I think.
Capsula Fest, yeah.
Yeah, so locally. So we also do some activities to engage that group because we need this for the digitalization. When I say that, it's everybody's throwing the word around, but we are, and this is the second challenge, we're moving our portfolio towards more of a solutions-based. I mean, we have our normal base of sensors that we have, but we also see a huge need for being able to see all your sensors in the factory, with an app, with software, being able to update the firmware of your sensors that are there. And so these are kind of two challenges in one. One is the people, and the other one is then creating these awesome use cases that offer value to our customers. Those would be probably two of the bigger challenges we have, aside from EU regulations, which I don't want to go into because it gets me a little bit upset.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, is there anything new on the horizon for SIG? Like in the pipeline, developments or conferences?
Well, I was at the Hanover trade show last week, and so that was super interesting. So it's like CeBIT, which you know from consumer electronics, I think. Maybe people there who are watching know CeBIT, but Hanover has been around forever, and it's the industry trade show. And there you could see standards coming together that make it easy to create cool new applications. And one of the ones that I like to allude to is the analogy is if you can imagine that sensors are like light bulbs in your house, like the Hue. Do you have any Hue lights, for example? Philips Hue. Okay. Does anybody in your house like to play around and maybe program them?
No.
No, not at all. Okay.
Me a little bit. Yeah.
So it's possible now to do kind of cool applications in your home to say the solar cell battery is 50% or higher. Then I'm going to send a signal to my toaster to start making the English muffins for my Egg McMuffin. Like it's possible to do these things. And we are adopting the standard web of things. It's also something that Siemens and a lot of the bigger companies are doing. And I would say it's not something that's like an amazing new sensor that we're coming out with in that aspect, but we're taking kind of our portfolio and making it able for normal programmers to create their own apps. So that's a big one. And the other cool one is we're able to take a neural net or a neural network and put it on a camera. So before, and boy, people think of AI is that you have an AI in the cloud like ChatGPT, and what we can do and what we have with our Nova software, just going to give a little highlight, is you're able to train images and put them into the camera and use this to more accurately classify pictures that you see. And you'll see that on the Capsula Fest if you're there.
Oh, great. Thanks. So thank you so much for this interview.
Sure. Pleasure.
If anybody would like to learn more about SIG, you're welcome to visit their website, connect on LinkedIn, go to the Capsula Fest to see them there. You can also see other GABC member updates on our LinkedIn website or sign up for our newsletter. That's also great. On that note, I'd like to bring up the subject of membership, as I always do. If you like what we do and want to support us or broaden your network, we encourage you to like, share, donate, or become members with us here at the Carl-Schurz-Haus. We are a nonprofit organization, and we rely on the support of our local community, and that is you. And you.
We are members and we're enjoying it.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, just as a quick update for what's going on here at the Carl-Schurz-Haus, we have a new series through the programming department, the KIP Moment. Yeah, so there will be an upcoming lecture series. Please visit our website to see the next events coming up. I believe the first is on April 9th already, so just a couple days away. For anyone looking to improve their English skills, as I already mentioned, we offer an in-house English program. We also go into companies to offer English language courses, both one-on-one and in groups. If you miss an event, be sure to check out our YouTube page for the recordings. And I would like to, again, thank my guest here, Patrick, as well as Cheryl online. Thank you for those fabulous tips that you've shared with us. And we hope to see you again soon, either here in person in the lovely Carl-Schurz-Haus Library at one of our events, online, or perhaps just around in Freiburg. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we will see you next time.